How about dim apples? How about I actually turn on the mic? So I'm actually not being a total asshat and just sitting there with the mic muted. Thank you. Asshat gets asterisks in the live capture of Facebook. Yeah, Zealey's saying he'll make it. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. It's not the way I wanted to begin the show. You have 50 seconds. 4 to 6. Something like that. This is why I take a shit 2 hours for the show. So it clears out my system. So I'm not tasked with trying to shove everything out with 20 seconds to go. This is not a Hail Mary situation. It should never be a Hail Mary situation. But it's about to be. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. 3, 2, 1. And the madness begins. Does it? I don't know. Oh, that's interesting. My phone is like 30 seconds behind. That's really weird. Okay, riddle me this, Cape Crusaders. My desktop, it says 8 o'clock. My phone says 7:59. My Chromebook says 7:59. I'm very confused. Very confused indeed. There we go. Now it just switched over to 8. Weird. It's very weird. Well, this is awkward. Well, I guess what I could do. What's this webcam? Oh, look, it's me. It's all of me. It's me. Let's see here.
Yo.
Here we go. Zelius, you there?
Oh, I'm indeed. I apologize for the delay, good sir.
Indeed. Then let's get into this jammy jam.
A what?
The jammy jam.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let us begin the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Vision Thursday Night Hangout.
Thursday to you.
I am your host, Charlie, and I'm joined once again by the perfect counter himself, Azilius.
How goes that, good sir, of the Atlanta Overwatch team, whose name I forget. On your head.
The Atlanta Reign.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's like, it's the Firebirds, but it's not a Firebird.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this, of course, is the Thursday Night Hangout. This is a weekly live show where we try our best to cover the topics most important to you during our show. If you haven't yet had a chance to submit your topic, question, etc., have no fear. You can drop it into the chat, be it on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and we'll try to add it to the list of topics to cover in the show. If we do, unfortunately, run out of time, those topics will be added to the very next week's show. So without further ado...
Next time is what you're saying?
So without further ado, let's get into some of these topics. The first one, this is something that Zelius and I talked about briefly. And And that is, there is news on the Diablo mobile game front. Diablo Immortals, I believe is what it's called. Sorry, Diablo Immortal. Not there's no S. It's just one immortal, not multiple.
You're singular immortal.
They're singular immortals. Okay. So the mobile edition is set to release on June 2nd. So it'll officially be out for everyone to play on their mobile devices that are capable mobile devices on June 2nd.
How excited are you about Diablo Immortal, not to be confused with Immortals?
Well, I just also would like to drop this little tidbit of information, and that is that the open beta version of the PC version of this mobile-only version of Diablo starts June 2nd, the day that it actually drops on mobile. So
Wait,
this
you don't have a mobile
mobile-only
PC?
version of Diablo is going to be on the PC with cross-play and cross-progression between mobile devices and PC once the PC truly gets completely integrated.
Wow, I'm super excited about that. Oh, yes.
Well, this tells me that you don't even have to dick around with the mobile version. Just jump in on the open beta for the PC and see if it's worth your while. Because the open beta will be free. It will not be free on the mobile.
Really?
I think so.
So what you're saying is there's going to be tons of microtransactions and probably pay-to-win mechanics to make everybody's lives miserable and full of hate.
But since you have to pay for it, from my understanding, I believe you have to pay for it on mobile devices. I don't think there's going to be a lot of pay-to-win mechanics in there.
But on the PC, you can play it for free?
Because it's an open beta.
So
once it goes gold, you'll have to pay for it.
So how much is the game?
Let me check. Hold on a second.
See, now I'm intrigued. I really thought it was free to play. Yeah, it's a free to play game.
It is free to play. How about that?
Yeah. No. Yeah,
so okay, microtransactions out the yin yang then.
Like
monetizing the game through in-app purchases. The core experience will always be free. Sure, yeah. All core experiences of free-to-play games are always going to be free. But the actual experiences you want to have are not going to be free.
After my experience with Lost Ark, like the idea of the full-fledged freemium, that's the term I use at least, freemium. Action RPG hack and slash game is kind of lost its appeal to me. Mainly because, think about it, Diablo, part of the love, hate, and beauty of Diablo is it's always been a grind fest. And that's kind of the nature of most hack and slashems with any kind of like in-game content. You should end up grinding for that in-game stuff because it's fun, right? Like you get to go kill lots of big, bad, evil things. Cool. And it scares me in a game like Diablo, which is now owned by Activision, I guess soon to also be owned by Microsoft.
You mean Microsoft will also own it?
Is like how well is that going to work? Because you look at Lost Ark, it is very much of the Korean MMO style where they lock, especially like the in-game grinding is locked behind such a hardcore paywall where you could spend time on it, but the amount of time without paying for it is like hundreds of hours to get on the same level. So it's not technically pay to win because you can technically get the same thing. You just have to treat it like a full-time job. And that's my worry of a game like Diablo Immortal, where Diablos have always been grindy for that in-game content, but in a reasonable way. Is that going to just be like exasperated and now in an unreasonable cookie cutter free-to-play MMO game where the grind of free-to-play is ridiculous? And the hard part for me that is always is, I think with free-to-play games, people have shown if it's reasonable, they don't mind paying
Mm-hmm.
to do it. But what it inevitably happens in a lot of these free to play games, especially the bigger action games, take like Diablo, right?
Yep.
Is Diablo 3, you purchase the game and then you purchase, like, okay, there's expansion, but it's not like that ongoing cost. Or when it's a free to play game, all of a sudden, now you have a bazillion ongoing cost. And typically in a game like this, it's some kind of gated item. So, like, let's just say you do like the Dungeon of Depths level 1000. Well, like, there's orbs that drop. And oh, guess what though? And you can increase your Depths of 1000 orb drop by only paying this $20 cost twice a month or something crazy like that.
Mm-hmm.
So my experience is these free to play MMO games, in order to kind of get the same experience as a traditional MMO, say like a World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy 14, can easily end up costing you more money because they're monetizing and nickel and diming all that extra stuff that's gated otherwise. So that's what's always bothered me about these free to play MMO games. And some do it well, like Guild Wars 2. That's an example of a game that does it well, I think. So there's different games that do it from a gamer perspective better than others, I think. But I'm extremely skeptical of what the direction Blizzard has been going.
You mean Activision?
Yeah, it's going to be the nickel and dime the hell out of it, and it's just not going to be the fun way. Where in order to kind of stay cutting edge progression, it's not just that initial payment; it's the ongoing absurd payments. That's the part that gets me.
I guess we'll find out in June.
I mean, I mean, anybody, most people now seeing. I mean, think about it. It's a AAA action game. Let's just say new AAA game.
But this isn't a new game.
Elden Ring is $60, right?
Yeah.
What I'm compared to though is you look at any free to play game and you can buy like 1,000 crystals for like $100.
Yep.
Like it just always just amuses me. Where I'm like, how does this like? I mean, I know it's the whales. I know there's like the top 5% who basically keep these games afloat. That's just how it works. But I'm like, so there's a lot of these games where honestly, if they had more stuff like in that $5 price range that actually like would benefit me, I would be all for. But when that $10 all it gets you is like 100 crystals, which doesn't even get you like one magical summon, I'm like, no.
It's actually 110 crystals to get that magic summon, okay?
Yes. So that's always, I mean, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, I know. No,
and that's what always gets me. I'm like, where's like the game that has like a good pay scale where for like a free to play player, you can drop $10 to $15 a month, but it actually gets you something worthwhile. They seem there's a few out there that have that, but they're few and far between.
So I was actually, while you were talking, I was thinking about in around the area that I live, they do this like festival in spring. It's called Lemonade Days, and they bring in like amusement rides. They got like a Ferris wheel and
are those like rickety ones that look like they're gonna like collapse at any moment?
No, damn it. They're fine and sound, okay? And they just have a bunch of, fair stuff. But in order to ride, you either get the unlimited ride wristband for $25 per person, or you buy these ride tickets. And the ride tickets, you would think a ticket, a ride. No. It is some rides are one ticket, some rides are two, some are three, some are four. It really depends on the complexity and the pricing scheme of said ride. And so it's exactly like what Zelius and I were just talking about. Like you start off with 100 free crystals, but to actually do anything, you need like 150 crystals. So you've got to pay for it. And then, and this is my least favorite thing, and this is the ticketing thing that this fair company did is the exact same thing that a lot of like mobile games and Facebook games do, is they give you energy. Okay, so you have X amount of energy, but as you progress through the game, different levels cost different levels of different amounts of energy. It's not a constant. It's like 1 energy per level. It's like some of these levels are 16 energy. Why 16? Who the fuck knows? But we're going to say 16. It drives me nuts. It drives me nuts.
Yes, I mean, let me be honest. I mean, Diablo Immortal, I still have that soft spot in my heart for Blizzard, so I will keep an eye on it. But it's not a game that I'm going to be clamoring for like a day one, like I have to play Diablo Immortal.
If I remember, I'll try to sign up for the open beta.
Yeah,
that's about all I can say.
Yeah, it's if I remember, cool, but if not, whatever. Which, you know, for guys like us who grew up on Blizzard, it sucks.
Yeah, it's a little disheartening. Well, to be honest with you, a lot of the companies that we grew up with are gone now.
Very true.
Or
they've been eaten up as a part of that. They've been eaten up by these large gaming conglomerates and cannibalized.
Yes, it's true. It's true. Very true. But Zelius, you mentioned one of the games that you like to play, Final Fantasy XIV. And Final Fantasy XIV made a little bit of news this past week, and that was that one of the producers of Final Fantasy XIV has come out and is asking players to stop trolling each other in the game's new Crystalline Conflict PvP mode. And they even went as far as saying that certain actions can be cause for suspension or banning of an account.
I'll be honest, I don't PvP in Final Fantasy XIV. So I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I just don't do it. So I'm like, meh. But I think what's different is the community in 14, in my experience, is by far the best community of any game I've played.
Mm-hmm.
In a game where you have community. It's actually,
community? The fuck is that?
And I think of like, I mean, you and I both played Lost Ark some. And so Final Fantasy XIV, just for reference, it does not have a general chat.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can join channels, or you can have guild chat, or there's a novice network. There's other ways you can communicate, but there's no like standard open world chat. I don't know about you, but Lost Ark's community chat made me want to put a bullet in my head.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. Anytime there is a chat window in a game, I'm going to find a way to try to minimize it or exit out of all but private channels. So the only time that I actually see chat is someone's actually talking to me, but I also put it to friends only so nobody can talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, the Lost Ark community global chat was terrible. And so I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that's why there's no global chat in 14. I remember now. But by and large, the community in 14 is pretty much regarded as like the overall nicest, most respectful, whatever adjective you want to use, community. So I think in terms of, the developer reaching out and being like, hey, be nice, don't do glitching. Like that's the one community that might actually listen and be like, okay, cool, we listen.
So just for a point of reference here, this is what they're talking about, what players are doing, okay? Players have been spamming chat options such as "nice job," repeatedly emoting or setting off fireworks on top of a downed enemy, and using the tell command to directly insult opponents. But these are all prohibited as per Final Fantasy XIV rules.
Yes, like not trolling other people is a big thing, yes.
Let's see here. The producer said, "I'd like to warn against such behavior." Basically, they're saying that guilty players could be subject to suspension of up to 20 days with repeat and exceptionally heinous offenders being permanently banned. All PvP content, including crystalline conflict, is intended to be a battle contest of skill between players. Participants must bring their best to the fight, and for this reason, uncooperative or lethargic behavior is prohibited. Let's strive to do our best even in situations where defeat is imminent, regardless of whether or not you're interested in the rewards.
So basically the opposite of like Overwatch, where about every other game, someone's going to call you
AFK.
out for being a noob or an idiot or whatever. I mean, that's actually why I stopped playing. Not Paladins. What is
Smite.
High-Res's MOBA?
Smite.
Smite. That's why I stopped playing Smite. Because so many of the matches were just toxic.
No, I'll be totally honest with you. One of the reasons why I finally decided to put the kibosh into Smite was the fact that when you are in a casual match, especially in a match where you're randomly assigned characters, you cannot try to attack your fellow teammates over the fact that they may not be the masters over a randomly assigned character.
And I mean, I do think there is something to be said for, the developers and them coming out and being like, hey, basically don't be a dick, and trying to be involved with the community. I think there is some effectiveness to that, honestly. Instead of just, sitting around and not doing anything and twiddling your thumbs, like a lot of developers do. So I appreciate the effort of trying to reach out and just tell people, obviously you want to win and go for it, win, obviously. But you don't have to be a troll or a D-bag in the process of, beating the enemy. You can be both. You can be a gracious victor also. It is possible, believe it or not. I know it's hard to imagine, but it can be done.
So we're going to take the trolling thought and we're going to transition into another topic. Okay.
Are you calling me a troll, sir?
No, I'm not. But our next topic has to deal with it's okay. Basically, there is a new hit anime series that's out there right now. It's called Spy X Family. And the anime itself is not the issue. It's the fact that there are fans of the anime who are going after a specific, a very skilled artist who has basically done a reimagining of if the main character was African American instead of Caucasian. And people have just been going nuts over how this is wrong, how this is not how the anime is supposed to be seen, that she's not African American. Why would you do this? And to that I say, well, we just said it, don't be a dick, okay? It's okay. If someone wants to do a reimagining of, I don't know, Harry Potter as an extraterrestrial, and it looks amazing, which this artist is amazing, then more power to you. I'm not going to be like, oh no, Harry Potter can't be green-skinned and have a like an elephant type nose. No. He has to be white with blah 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 blah.
I thought Harry Potter was an alien. I thought all sorcerers were actually aliens, sir.
I think they're demons according to the Catholic Church.
Ah, that explains a lot.
Yeah. I think it's not extraterrestrials. It's different dimensional beings or realm beings. Realm beings.
You might be onto something here.
Anyways,
Did they make Dumbledore like the Antichrist?
Yeah. Look, everyone. This is like basically fan fiction, but fan art. Okay, I don't understand. I can't grasp why people would go out of their way to be absolute douchebags. First of all, in a looking at the silver lining, this dude is getting his work viewed by a shit ton of people. Oh no. Gunny Chief said you can't say Harry Potter is an alien on Twitter either. Is that an Elon Musk thing?
Is that not part of his new free speech platform?
Did you hear that that he already got someone banned for a bit after saying like Tesla sucks or something on Twitter.
But I thought Twitter's not.
He's like, but it's a platform for free speech, just not when it comes to any of my shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's, it's the beauty and the ugly of the internet is, on one hand, it's the platform to say what is on your mind. On the other hand, it also creates a platform for which I can say what's on my mind, which can be not pleasant and not in a. It's unpleasant for somebody else to hear because it's a differing opinion, but unpleasant because I say it as a complete and total unapologetic prick. I think my favorite is when somebody's like, people just hate me or love me, but I see what's on my mind. It's like, no, it just means you don't have a filter and you just come off as a dick.
Okay. Let's say this. Think before you speak. I know it's a very strange foreign concept, but sometimes.
Nope. I'm just saying what's on my mind, bro. My mind, straight filter, bro.
This is actually something that I have to tell my eldest son a lot, is think before you speak, because he could piss someone off really quick, because I understand where his mind is, but my God, man, take a breath, think about it. Don't be like, this is what gets in trouble the most. So where's dinner?
Yes.
Or where's this? When are we going to do this? Why can't we do this? How about find a better way to say that?
Well, I mean, to be fair, there's a little bit of a difference of him being, in elementary school versus what's supposed to be a fully developed human brain.
True. Fully developed human brain. We're still waiting for one of those.
I'm just saying, when you're comparing the maturity of him versus what's supposed to be an adult, and yet you still could be more mature than an adult is.
Exactly. There you go. Depends on the adult. Let's put that out there. So, I mean, look, if you're creative and you could create something, create it. Now you do have to have a bit of a thick skin, because, there are those individuals out there who will try to tear you a new one, and it may cause you to never do something again. There's many instances where people have been, browbeaten to the point of just disappearing.
Yeah. I mean, there's also a reason, like on the internet, that I just don't discuss like politics or anything like that, is because that's also not something that I want to be involved with in that type of medium, because it usually devolves into Neanderthal thinking in words.
When I get to the Neanderthal thinking in words, I just picture me punching my keyboard. Like, it's just you're gonna understand me better with my rage of just smashing random keys than me trying to be eloquent.
Crush keyboard. I wish I had like my extra keyboard. I could just like smash it right now as a demonstration.
Well, no, I'm not gonna smash any keyboards. I've got a keyboard that I probably could smash because.
What's a confusion? Smash.
Ooh, smash confusion.
That should be a fundraiser.
I smashed your confusion. Speaking of smashing.
Ooh, that could be a new weekly show. Does it smash?
Does it smash? Sure, why not? Okay, so speaking of smashing, some of you may know of a certain long-running anime, or I guess an anime that's been reimagined quite a few times, called Voltron. And it turns out that there apparently was quite the bidding war to gain the rights for a live action Voltron movie. And it appears that Amazon Prime is coming out as the victor. There is a rumor that the director of the movie will be the gentleman behind the movie Red Notice, which is on Netflix. It's a great movie, fun movie.
It was a fun movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say great, but it was fun.
That's what I meant, fun movie. And this apparently Hollywood's been trying to make a Voltron live action movie since 2005.
Of course they have, because live action, everything.
I mean, look, a lot of people are like, isn't that just gonna be like Power Rangers? Sure.
Well, like most things, it's who directs it can have a very different vision as far as will it be trash or not.
As of right now, I am optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic?
Cautiously optimistic, because it seems like here's the thing. I don't know if this is just like I know it's gonna sound weird, but I actually would rather have a streaming studio produce and direct a film than any of like the big Hollywood megaweights, because I feel like the streaming services have more on the line to make sure this shit is good versus, MGM and Universal or NBC or Comcast, Xfinity, whatever the fuck you want to be called today. They basically just like, well, we got the IP and we're just going to regurgitate absolute horseshit onto a script, but people are going to pay for it.
I agree. I think for me at least, basically outside of the MCU movies, over the last number of years, I much greatly prefer basically the Netflix / Amazon Prime movie streaming releases. And Netflix to me has put out a few bangers over the years.
Yes.
So no, I'm totally in agreement with you where I don't. Another thing that'd be interesting of like, why is that? Is it that as you put it, the MGM and et cetera cartel execs are so out of touch that it's just trash? Whereas, does Netflix and Prime actually look to direct a movie?
Or get writers who actually know the source material.
Yeah. Versus,
instead of like, I know I'm going to get my soapbox again, but Transformers. And they're like, oh, yeah, it's robots coming to Earth, but we got to make sure America looks good. So let's put, 5,000 American troops and 3 robots. They'll figure it out.
Yeah. So I think there's part. I do wonder if there's the Hollywood people telling the person what to do in the movie versus the writers and directors just being given the green light to do what they need to do to make a good movie.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so we're going to pause just for a second to do friends of the show, because these are the amazing individuals that help pay the Alta Confusion bills to support us in so many ways. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk about the Indie Cluster. The Indie Cluster is an organization of independent game developers that want to gain exposure by being involved in the community. They collectively journey to popular conferences as a traveling booth to help gain attention for their games. They make partnerships in local communities to bring games to the mainstream mindset. They highlight local, unusual, and rare concepts to challenge the paradigm of the common. They also host events to teach kids and minority groups about game development to hopefully one day enter the industry themselves. For more information, go to indiecluster.com. That's INDIECLUSTER.com. Then the next shout out we have to do is to the ever tireless inner workings of Noodle Boy Media. Founded in 2015 by Andrew Tran, Noodle Boy Media. Why am I going British here? Good Lord. Noodle Boy Media, previously Wet Kid 47 Media, is your choice for professional photo shoots and panel recordings at conventions. They pride themselves in providing a high level of professionalism, top-notch experiences, and quality services. If you want more information and to view their full list of services, check out facebook.com/NoodleBoyMedia.
And he was recently just got back from being an enforcer at PAX East 2022.
Yeah, buddy. Now, of course, the next shout out we have to give is to the one and only Hero Chiropractic. Hero Chiropractic is a unique healthcare practice set up by Ryan Moore. The company's focus to elevate a patient's experience of freedom, creative expression, and joy. They believe that everyone can be a hero and has incredible heroic potential inside themselves waiting to be unleashed. Hero Chiropractic focuses on mobile chiropractic care in the greater Atlanta area. They are committed to healing clients by creating a plan of action uniquely suited for each person. They make that plan of action as convenient and affordable as possible, and most importantly, suited to your individual needs. For more information, go to herochiropractic.com. And finally, the last friend of the show that we have to give a big old shout out to is CrossPad Creative. Need a new logo or want to work on a full branding and content strategy? Or maybe you need music or audio for your content. CrossPad Creative offers a whole host of solutions for individuals and small businesses. Just email Josh at crosspadcreative@gmail.com and see what he can do for you. Now, of course, since we did that quick shout-out, let's do some of the Alta Confusion shout-outs. The first one, and the most important one to Alta Confusion, as it's always been, is the fact that Alta Confusion, for the 11th year straight, will be fundraising for Extra Life. Extra Life is gamers doing what they do best, game, to help sick and injured children at their chosen Children's Miracle Network Hospital. The money that we raise through Extra Life will go directly to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta as unrestricted funds. This means that the hospital decides where and how to spend the money to ensure the dollars we raise make the biggest impact in the lives of the children they treat. So if you have the capacity to donate, please go to extra-life.org and search for Altered Confusion. Now, if you are curious as to how you become a friend of the show, then I have good news for you, because I'm about to tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, Altered Confusion survives on the love and support of fans like you, and so we have a Patreon page. Patreon lets you, the fans, the lovers, the haters, the supporters, interdimensional beings, intergalactic beings, demigods, demons, specters, ghosts, undead, and more to become active participants. I don't know how active are undead. I guess it depends on the weather. Become active participants in the work we love through a monthly membership. This gives you access to exclusive content, community, and insight into our creative process. In exchange, we gain a bit more freedom to do our best work and the stability to build an even stronger creative career. There are currently two tiers that you could do for a monthly subscription. The first one is a $1 a month or $12 a year tier, and that gains you early access to all of our playthroughs, as well as patron-only posts and polls to help shape the future of Alta Confusion. If you want to take that big step forward, there is also a $5 a month or $60 a year tier, which not only gives you everything at the $1 tier, but also puts your name or organization in the thank you section for every single Thursday night hangout. So, let us get back to the show. And let's see if I can, if this English accent is going to keep sneaking into my chat. By the way, I've been watching like a lot of British comedy, so that's why the English accent's probably coming. Is that I on occasion start mimicking accents when I spend too much time around it. Anywho, let's talk about another Hollywood adaptation of an existing property. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is centered around Hot Wheels. And the name behind the Hot Wheels is J.J. Abrams, or at least his company, Bad Robot. Basically, they're
Are they going to be robots?
It's gonna be Fast and Furious for kids. I swear to God, that's what it's gonna be.
Isn't that basically, what's that car cartoon?
What car cartoon?
You know, there's like the red car, there's the old clunker car.
You mean Cars?
Yes, is that Cars?
No. Well, okay, so the thing is, Cars is about racing. On NASCAR. NASCAR.
Hot Wheels race, man.
Well, no, but Hot Wheels could do a lot more. Hot Wheels is being described as a high throttle action film. Oh my God, it's gonna be live action.
It sounds like Cars.
It brings to life this multi-generational franchise to showcase some of the world's hottest and sleekest cars, monster trucks, and motorcycles. However, they do want to point out that, or I do want to point out, the fact that in none of the press releases have they talked about the bright orange track, which is a staple of Hot Wheels.
So is there going to be like a crossover with Fast and the Furious?
I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
Or it's like the origin story.
The origin story of Fast and the Furious, the cars from Fast and the Furious. It's all about the car. It's only about the cars, not.
What about like the submarines and the spaceships?
See, the thing that you're absolutely right. Is that the thing you gotta wonder about is that Hot Wheels has created more than just monster trucks, cars, and motorcycles. They've created boats. I do have a Hot Wheels Star Trek USS Enterprise.
I mean, there's a wheel inside the ship somewhere, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, the top disc is wheel shaped.
Well, there you go.
But the other, okay, but here's the thing. Okay, so yes, yay, J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot are making a Hot Wheels adaptation. But I also want to point out that when I was researching this, Mattel Films, which of course Mattel is the owner of Hot Wheels and a shit ton of other products, they are actively working on movie translations on many more in-house IPs. And I'm going to list these IPs for you, and I'm pretty sure you're going to scratch your head on a couple, but we're going to do it anyways.
I love a good head scratcher.
Of course, Hot Wheels. Next one, American Girl.
Sure.
Next one, Barbie. Sure.
More
And actually,
adult.
Barbie has
They've had video games.
No. Yes, they've had video games. But Margot Robbie is actually tied to the Barbie movie.
I mean, it's kind of like, playing Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
I can see the same. I mean, that's how some people dress up their Barbie dolls.
Look, I'm just gonna be totally honest with you. If Barbie gets to bitch slap Ken for being a wuss, I'm all in. I'm all in. Because I grew up with two sisters, okay? So I know something about Barbie. I had to put together the fucking Barbie dream house and the van. Okay? Anyways, so you got Barbie. Barney, that purple dinosaur from way back when.
Barney.
Now, no, but here comes the first curveball. They are actively working on a movie translation for the Magic 8 Ball.
The Magic.
Yeah, the Magic 8 Ball.
Well, okay. Well, hold up. Think about that. Jumanji, right? Why the hell are we making a Jumanji movie? It's a video game, right? Like, they're in the forest and whatnot. And that's actually turned out pretty well. So I could see, like, the same thing with, like, an 8 Ball. Like, some kids go into a basement. And, like,
they're going to be sucked into the 8 Ball?
Yeah, and, like, it turns them into, like, a parallel universe based on what the 8 Ball does. And, like, they also have to, like, solve 8 Ball problems throughout their quest to escape from the Magic 8 Ball.
I think you're trying too hard. I'm just not gonna lie.
I mean, it worked for Jumanji. I'm just saying.
Okay, here's.
I'm not saying it's still not gonna be absolutely terrible.
Maybe, I don't know. The next one, I don't even know what this one is. I just had to Google it, and it is Major Matt Mason.
Is that something out of like the Barbie verse? Maybe it was
like Major Matt
version?
Mason was an action figure created by Mattel. He was an astronaut who lived and worked on the moon. He was introduced in 1966.
Well, you know who has to play him is Matt Damon, because he's like in all the space movies, and he's got to rack up his bill that he's been incurring.
Screw it. We're actually going to film on the moon.
Oh, yeah. Elon Musk can fund that now because he has Twitter and SpaceX. It's fine.
Yeah, that'll be fine. The next one is Masters of the Universe. Big surprise. I mean, that Netflix has the two different Masters, He-Man, Masters of the Universe, which are
That makes
like
sense.
phenomenal and amazing. So that makes sense. Polly
So who would have to
Pocket.
play? Who would actually play He-Man in a live action?
Who would play He-Man? Oh God. Well,
There's only
Dolph
one answer
Lundgren
for
is
me.
too old.
Who?
Dolph Lundgren,
I
the
was gonna say
original,
Rock.
the original He-Man.
I was gonna say The Rock.
I think, to be totally honest with you, I don't think he would do it. Because you'd have to have blonde locks. I can't see The Rock with blonde hair. Zealous, you have a fan. Someone also put The Rock in there to be He-Man.
You know who would have been like perfect for it like 30 years ago? Of course.
Dolph Lundgren,
Well, I was gonna say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
which is basically Dolph Lundgren is like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but more easily understood. That's what it was. Kevin Sorbo. Oh my God. Let's pull out the old.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Kevin Sorbo's Herculean days are way behind him at this point.
I can see Jason Momoa.
You know, in total honesty, the guy who'd probably jump at the opportunity would be Channing Tatum. I don't know if it would be good, but I bet you anything that if he was offered the part, he'd take it. Conan the Barbarian is better than He-Man. Oh no. Uh-oh.
I mean,
Okay,
are we pretty entertaining flick.
Okay, okay, first of all, it depends on the movie. Which Conan the Barbarian are we talking about?
I'm going with the OG Arnold Schwarzenegger just showing off his pecs the entire movie. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm going with the OG.
Okay, I can I understand that a little bit. Yeah, okay. Sure. The thing is, like, the other thing is you have to understand that Conan came from books, okay? It wasn't just
Sure.
He-Man was a kid toy creation that got morphed into a TV show. Or came in about the same time. Yeah, they both worked very well. They both worked very well.
Yes.
The next property is Polly Pocket.
I feel like I should know what that is, but I don't.
Polly Pocket was like back in like the early 90s. It was basically like they had a boy version. I don't remember what the boy version was called, but basically it was you would get like this from the outside, it looked like a plastic purse. But if you opened it up, it was like an entire world. And you had like a miniature figure named Polly Pocket because she fits in your pocket. And you could, she would have like you could have like a merry-go-round, one of those spinny things in the park, or a slide, or a house and shit like that. It was all like micro version. But Polly Pocket, which, yeah, I'm sure that there's this new generation would eat that shit up. Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Robots, okay. Transformers 2.0.
No, it'd be more like what was that movie with crap? What was the Hugh Jackman, Max Steel. Was it Max Steel?
Is that the one where like they controlled like the robots who fought against each other?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
I thought it was cool. It was a good, flick to watch with the kids.
I never saw it.
But Rocket Soccer Robots. The next one, they've already made a shit ton of movies, so sure, why not? Thomas and Friends. It's all about the tank engine, the blue tank engine, Thomas.
So we're gonna have a more adult version, maybe a crossover with some Black Tower.
No, God, no. It's like
Come on,
Snowpiercer meets Thomas the Tank Engine. Let's do it.
Who would win in a battle to the death of train engines?
I don't know. Depends on who of Thomas's friends show up, because some of Thomas's friends are sketchy as fuck. Rated R, Thomas, please. I'd be on. Sure, why not? Mr. Conductor is some like grindhouse style Thomas the Tank Engine.
Get Robert Rodriguez in there to direct it and really put his flavor on it. It's like a Death Proof with trains.
Yeah,
I think we're onto something.
I told you. Got a response. Percy, one of Thomas's friends, is wild. They're some crazy people. Anyways.
Yeah, I don't know who Percy is.
Don't worry about it. If you didn't watch Thomas, then you don't know. But Percy was there. There was a couple of tank engines that you had to keep an eye on.
Ooh, sketchy
characters. Okay, another property, Uno, the card game.
Sure.
We'll just go, it's a high stake winner take all. It's gonna be with Liam Neeson, and it's to win back his daughter. Oh shit! That's a skip. It's taken, but instead of weapons, it's Uno.
Actually, he takes the cards and he's like Gambit, and he flings the Uno cards at all the people and like takes their carotid arteries out.
I may not know every game, but I know when I'm down to one card, I will say Uno. The next one,
whatever the card says, that's how you die.
Yeah. Uno. Wait, are these movie rights? Yeah. Okay, so real quick, the movies that we've listed are Mattel Film. Mattel Film is actively working on movie translations for the following movies. I'll just run through them real quick again since you missed out on the early ones. American Girl, Barbie, Barney, Magic 8 Ball, Major Matt Mason, Masters of the Universe, Polly Pocket, Rock 'em Sock 'em Robots, Thomas and Friends, Uno. The next one, I don't even know what the hell it is. What is Viewmaster?
What is what?
Viewmaster.
Wasn't that like that handheld thing that you used to like watch things?
Yes, it is. It's one of those clicky things. I just looked at it. They're going to make a movie out of that. It tells the future.
It is the movie.
It predicts an apocalyptic event of epic proportions.
I can predict like these are going to be like props in the movies that like somehow start off like an apocalypse.
I think I owned one, and I think mine was, I want to say that mine was actually He-Man and Voltron themed.
Nice.
Because it was a circular dial thing that you clicked on the side.
Well, if you really want to date us, did you have when you were in school, did you have those old, I don't know what they're actually called, but it was like when a teacher wanted to show you like pictures about, let's just say like the national parks, it was like this large carousel clicky thing. And like they'd press a button and like it would like shoot it up like into the light, like a projector to shine on the wall. And like you'd click it and you go through like each one to tell like a story. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. It's a slideshow. It's what an actual slideshow is. All those little things are called slides.
There you go.
Clark would like to see Voltron versus the Power Rangers.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
Too bad inevitably, you know what ended up happening is they'd never actually fight each other to the end. It would be like Batman versus Superman.
They'd be like,
the bigger evil comes in the end, so the actually
exactly. You're like, it's like, oh shit, it's all on. Let's see who does it. And then it ends up like they like high five, like, you know what? We have to put aside our differences. There's a evil out there that needs to be put down.
That's exactly what would happen.
And by some weird occurrence, Power Rangers would lose 3 of their Zords, and Voltron would lose their arm and their leg. Oh my god. Okay, Clark wants us to talk about Voltron versus Gundam.
But then you could like incorporate one of those Power Rangers and like it becomes like a new anamorphic arm and the other one becomes the leg. And that's like a part of Voltron now.
Voltron versus Gundam.
It sounds like a Charlie special right there.
It would depend on the Gundam, to be honest with you. There are a shit ton of different. It's not just a Gundam. There's the Unicorn Gundam. There's if I had the time, I would, and the ability to move, I would take my camera and show you. I think my son now has built my son and I have built 4 Gundams. So that's the right answer. Yes. Ha. See, I know some shit.
You beat the trick question.
Okay, let me just real quick. The last property that that Mattel Films is actively working on is Wishbone, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why Wishbone ever went off the air. That dog was the most versatile actor I have ever seen in my life. The dog did Shakespeare, he did like Peter Pan, he did Adventures, amazing stuff on PBS, Public Broadcasting System.
I was honestly very confused. I was thinking of like the turkey bone that you take and you split to see who's like gonna have luck.
You know what? I'm sure there's someone out there in Hollywood that is trying to market a movie about the repercussions of breaking the turkey wishbone. Which, by the way, just a side note, you can never attempt to try to break the wishbone from a slow smoked turkey.
What happens? Is it shrapnel?
No, it's fucking rubber.
Oh, so it's a greater challenge is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, you literally... Clark said, I wrote about Ivanhoe in my AP Lit exam. Only knew it from Wishbone. Wishbone was amazing, man. That's what it's like. I was a little bit too old to really get into Wishbone, but that would have been more in my little sister's wheelhouse. Was probably Wishbone and Barney and Sesame Street, of course. But yeah, I love me some Wishbone. So what you're saying is, if I teach again, I just show Wishbone? Yes. Well, I mean, if you're teaching English literature, then Wishbone is the easy way out. It's like a even more entertaining version of Cliff Notes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Of course, me teaching English in high school sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, Zelia's teaching English would be very bad.
No hablo English.
Yeah, Zelius would just probably throw in random facts that don't make sense. Like, oh yeah, of course, Romeo had a side chick. Her name was Brunhilde, and she actually lived with Robin of Locksley on the Death Star.
Programming in Java contains words in English, so therefore that is going to be our English class, is programming in Java.
I will. I don't know if it's still the thing, but every single time I hear language and programming language, I love the fact that the university that I started going to, I transferred out to end up at Full Sail, but I was able to take an extra programming class and have that count towards my foreign language credit.
Oh no, I 100% believe that programming, both in high school and college, should count towards your foreign language requirement.
Because it is a foreign language.
What?
It is a foreign language.
Yeah, because the core of foreign language is basically it's a different way of thinking about how to communicate with the world, be it with other people or in your head or language. And computer science, to me, is 100% a different way of interacting with the world around us. And it teaches you a different skill set. It teaches you critical thinking. It's super powerful. So yes, it should be a foreign language.
If universities are allowed to credit individuals who take dead language classes like Latin, like Sanskrit, then you got to allow for programming as well, because it's not spoken. No one's out there speaking Latin, or, well, there are people attempting to speak Latin, but technically there are no native Latin speakers anymore.
Don't tell my Latin teacher that, man. She'll take you out.
Sure. There's a story about me and Latin, but I will save it for another day.
A rainy day.
Sure, why not? So let's jump gears again real quick, or whatever. I am a Steam person through and through. Once Steam came out, that has always been my game launcher. Okay, so I was just made aware of the fact that the Bethesda game launcher is shutting down in May, and I didn't know there was a Bethesda game launcher.
The more you know.
Yeah. Apparently, it launched back in 2016. So it hasn't been around for too long, but they decided they just can't keep up with the likes of Steam and Epic, so they're going to stop it. But if starting the 27th, so starting yesterday and going until when the launcher actually closes down, which I believe is May 11th, you can transfer your data over to Steam. Some of the data will automatically transfer, while others you'll have to manually transfer over, like save files and stuff like that. But there is a warning for those out there who have used the Bethesda launcher in the past, and that is that that Bethesda is highly encouraging that users keep their Bethesda.net login details even after the shutdown, as there are some games that were attached to the launcher that will require that information for continuing access for features within the game.
That makes sense not to forget it.
Yeah. The one that a lot of people are highlighting is the game Rage 2, which was a Bethesda launcher exclusive. So if you want to continue to play Rage 2 after it closes down, you're going to need your Bethesda login information.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not exactly uncommon that Steam launches other launchers. Like Civilization actually from Steam launches the 2K Games launcher within Steam.
Well, Mass Effect.
Does that do that same thing?
Yeah, it launches another launcher.
Nice. Now, here's what I absolutely love about these things is guess what I could still go onto Bethesda and on the front page and still download right now?
Don't know.
The launcher.
Huzzah!
I'm like, good job, guys. It's sunsetting soon, but I can still install and set it up just like a new day. I'm not going to actually run the executable because I don't want to find out.
It's all malware. It eats your hard drive.
I like to eat my hard drive for dinner. As you know, it's good for my intestines. All that extra iron and metals.
I believe it's irony that you were stupid enough to download a launcher that's about to close. But speaking of big name services, Sony has come out and said that they are going to put a stop to subscription stacking. So what that really means is that you can't get like a bunch of, like discounted subscriptions for the PlayStation Network and then stack it on top of each other so that you save money. They're not going to allow you to do that. You need to wait until your current subscription is over and then use the code to extend. You're not allowed to just add a bunch of codes to like extend it indefinitely.
Yeah. People were gaming the system, like most things in life.
Of course. If there is a way to game a system, people are going to do it.
Now, what I do is like with the Plus is I'll wait till like it goes on sale where it's like the half off for the year.
Right.
Buy that, and then I have that on ready to go.
Right. And what people are buying multiple things of that so they can extend it past the 1 year.
Well, for me, there comes a point where like, even if it's a great sale, it's only worthwhile to me to go out so far into the distance because the reality is whether it's Sony or Xbox, whoever it is, it's their service and they can change it on a whim. So like, it was never worth it to me to get like 4 years worth of PS Plus subscription because who the hell knows where things are going to be in 4 years?
Come on, man. You're going to be grandfathered in, right?
Yeah.
The rules are what they are when I applied to the subscription thing. They can't change it on me.
That actually say that you're basically at the mercy of whatever the hell Sony decides to do that day on a whim.
Yeah, sure, that one.
That one, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. It makes sense. I mean, it sucks for those people who were, trying to cut down the costs of the subscription, subscription fees. But I mean, from a financial standpoint, I understand. But still,
It's one of those things.
yeah. Yeah. No, though, okay, talking about some really crazy stuff, such as that. I got a message from Twitch, of all places, that has informed me that my friends are going away on May 25th, 2022. Which my first response is like, what the fuck? Are they unfriending me or something? No.
No friends for you, sir.
Starting in May 25th, the feature to list your online friends will go away, and you will no longer see who is or isn't online in your friend list because you won't have one.
Aww.
Which I don't understand. Like, why is that? What is it bogging down the network or something? What the?
I mean, I honestly don't use like a Twitch friends list, but like at the same time, like I don't really leverage Twitch other than like the occasional watching in the show. But if you're somebody who, especially like a streamer who's using it, I would think that would actually have value to have that useful friends list. So that's kind of interesting, actually.
Here's the official notice here. We launch Friends to help viewers connect with one another, similar to the connections between creators and viewers. Today, we see the best viewer-to-viewer connection on Twitch happen when we experience live moments together on a creator's channel. With very few viewers regularly using Friends to actively connect with each other. By deprecating this feature, we are able to further focus on building connections among communities while streamers are live. So they put more emphasis on live streamers.
So we're able to allow you to better communicate with each other by taking away one of your forms of communication.
Well, I think the thing is that even if you are friends with someone, you're probably also following their channel. So you probably are getting the information of when they're going live. So, I mean, I kind of understand, but still, the feature will be removed from the mobile app on May 16th and twitch.tv on May 25th. After that date, your friends list and the ability to see which of your friends are online will no longer be available. Okay, if you block whispers from strangers in your privacy settings, anyone who is currently on your friends list will lose the ability to send you whispers once the feature is removed. When you follow their account, they are no longer considered a stranger and can send you whispers in the future. So it's just you're following a channel instead of a person. I mean, that's really what it boils down to.
Yeah, I guess.
But the thing that is kind of sucks is that not everybody who's active on Twitch is a creator. Some are strictly just viewers. So they don't have a channel. I mean, they do. You technically have a channel, but they never go live.
So, I mean, it's very different. Yeah. Most people do not have a channel.
So in order for them to you'll just have to find all your friends before May 25th, all the friends that you have on your list, go find their channel and follow their channel so they can continue to give you whispers or direct messages, because that's really what it boils down to. So you got to do some legwork, damn it. Do some legwork.
I actually have friends. I didn't even remember that.
Wow, Celius, you're making a lot of people feel special.
You're not one of my friends.
Damn it, Celius. You're one of mine because I set you up as a co-host.
Ah.
You bastard.
But you also missed the ability to message people, which was nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yes. Oh, well.
It be what it be, man.
Dude.
It's kind of like they take features away. It's not like you have a whole lot of choice.
Yeah, exactly. You got to roll with the punches, baby.
Extra to keep that feature? What if I was like Twitch Prime on top of Amazon Prime? Can I visit like extra Prime?
Okay. If you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime.
Shh. I want extra Prime goodies.
Oh my God.
Such as chat.
Prime of the Prime. Prime.
Prime time.
Prime. No,
Prime squared? What's a prime squared?
I think that's what happens when Optimus puts an additional spark inside him.
Oh. Now we're getting a little bit esoteric here and just going off the rails, sir.
Well, we'll find out. Anyways. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've reached the end of our show.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It's always crazy. We blink, and the next thing you know, we are getting close to the end of our time slot.
So what you're saying is this is like Doctor Who, and you're not supposed to blink.
Yeah, exactly. Don't blink. Don't look away, damn it. Super Saiyan Optimus Prime. That's fucked up. That's too powerful.
The world would come to an end.
His energy is over 9,000! Or something. I don't know. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning into the Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout. For myself, Charlie, and Zelia, it's been a pleasure getting everything come our heads. I'm Alice, and of course, our hearts. We'll be back next Thursday for another Ultra Confusion Thursday Night Hangout.
Remember, kids, keep on giving in the free world.
Amen to that, brother. And we have stopped the recording. But we're still here to just chit-chat and say hello.
Wait, there is no more recording? How is that possible?
Because the show is technically over.
But I don't understand.
So I started watching this anime. This anime is on Crunchyroll. And it's called The Ranking of Kings. Dude. I have never seen so much like backstabbing, backroom, treasonous, like shit. I mean, oh my God. Everybody's got a hidden agenda.
Interesting. Is that a good thing? Does it make it interesting?
It's very well. I mean, the thing is, you don't know where anyone's actually like where their allegiances are. Because some of people are just like blindly following others. And then there are other people who are like, oh yeah, I'm following you up to this point, but I'm not going to tell you about this point until we actually get there. And then Shazam! I'm going to fuck you up.
That was what was the Netflix anime that was like, it's based on a video game. It's on season 2. It was like one of those mobile ones.
Season 2?
Yeah, what was it? But that was my problem because there was like a lot of like it had to do with like gods and other stuff and things happened and like
you're not talking about Ragnarok. Ragnarok hadn't gone to season 2.
Definitely not Ragnarok. If you said I remember what it is, I'm trying to find.
It's not Zeus Blood of the Gods, is it?
Nope, not that. It was based on a video game, 100%. I know that.
Gods?
What?
They had gods in it?
Not like in a traditional sense, not like a Zeus type of god, but more like a god that's only there because you worshipped it, was one of the major premises.
Isn't that basically any god, though? If you technically worship it, it exists.
Well, according to some religions, gods exist independent of our beliefs. They just are.
Maybe they are, but they aren't as powerful because they've lost their followers.
Touche. I'm trying to look through my list here.
I'm trying to look as well.
Wasn't you?
It's not that one.
I don't.
It's not Castlevania.
It may have been Dragon's Dogma.
That only had one season, didn't
it?
Wait. Hold on. Was it Dragon's Dogma or was it the other one? There's one.
They both came out around the same time.
Right. It's
No, it's not Dragon's Dogma. There's only the one season.
It's the other one that it's the one where you have this it was a goddess who fell out of favor.
Yes. Yep.
Oh God, what the hell is it called? It's not Dragon. Hold on, I'm gonna look up Dragon Dogma and be like more like this. if I can, which apparently I can't do that on my phone. You son of a bitch. Hold on, let me see here if I could do it this way. Damn it! Now I'm. Oh, what the hell is it called? Shit.
Dota.
Yeah, there it is, Dota.
Yeah. But that was me for season 2 because there was a lot of like goddesses falling and almost dying and people falling out of favor. And like watching season 2 or just jumps in with no preamble. And I was taking part of the season trying to like remember like what happened to these people.
Yeah, I've just gotten into the habit of if I'm trying to like, get the full story, I just suck it up and I just watch all the stuff before the current season just so that I remember shit right.
That's fair. I totally get that.
Because there's a couple times where I've tried to jump in and I've been like, what?
What's going on? I'm so confused. Yeah.
No. I'm sad though. Some of the anime that I was actually hoping to continue to see on Netflix, they decided not to do so. Yeah, sad day. But anyways. Yeah. Uh-oh. Sorry, I hear my dog barking out of control.
What did he do now?
I don't think it's what he did. I believe my wife has just come back from a business trip that she left on Monday.
Did you see who did end up going number 1 in the draft?
George's Walker.
Yes.
And we picked up a wide receiver from USC, which I don't think was on anyone's high list.
Nope. Never heard the guy.
I don't know who the fuck that is. Great. Awesome. Good job, Falcons. Good job.
Yeah. The problem with Walker might be a great player, who knows? But going to Jacksonville right now seems like the place where people are going to go to like have their NFL careers crushed in 3 years.
No, that's Detroit.
Well, I feel like Jacksonville is that now.
Well, Jacksonville actually has like an actual coach and not just a fancy name there. So
no, yes, Detroit that is true, undeniably.
Sorry, Detroit,
but you are cursed
permanently.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how it's like Texas draft LSU star quarterback. I'm like, oh, they're already stars. Good to know.
Of course. Duh.
Did not take it long for them to be a star, if you know what I mean.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're still hanging in there, I do want to point out that in some time in the very near future, Zelius and I are going to have to come up with a new way to have Zelius show up on the show, on the screen, because Google Hangouts is going bye-bye, and the Google Meetups are absolute shit. So when we cross that bridge, perhaps there are individuals who we will add and maybe have more than just myself and Zelius. That is a helpful little hint, hint, wink, wink. Also, if anybody out there is still watching and you're going to be in the Atlanta area during MomoCon, which is it's the Memorial Day weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I may be willing to work out a deal with you to kind of soften the blow for your attendance if you could come help at the table. Because right now, everybody who I have as backups, unfortunately, it turns out that, they're brothers, and one's actually graduating from high school that weekend, so they're both out.
What if you brought your children?
My wife would castrate me.
I mean, you're not having any more kids, so what's the big deal?
Ha 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 ha. Anyways, without getting any further into Charlie's personal life, Zelius, we're going to end the stream for now, but we'll be back, or I'll be back streaming some gaming on Sunday and Tuesday. I know I've been pretty sporadic the past couple of weeks, and that is simply because the Atlanta Hawks were in the playoffs. They are no longer in the playoffs, so I could get back to doing my regular streams.
Indeed.
Also, I just want to take this brief moment to give an absolute full-hearted fuck you, Fox Sports South and all regional Fox Sports bullshit. I live in Atlanta, okay? And for some fucked up reason, the NBA has given rights to certain games to NBA TV. Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night, NBA TV had the rights for the Atlanta Hawks. But because Atlanta is a local team, that then translated over to Bally Sports or Fox Sports South or whatever the hell they're being called now. So there's only like 2 providers here in the Atlanta area that you can watch. You're either on Comcast or you're on DirecTV. Otherwise, you can't watch the Hawks game. But I have NBA TV with my streaming service. You get a blackout because there's a local network technically that shows it. Although it's not a network you can watch because those guys want everybody to allow them to give it to them up the kazoo. So I didn't get to. So I will fully admit that I watched an illegal stream on Twitch to watch the Hawks game on Tuesday night. This gentleman was a very, very passionate Hispanic, I believe. It sounded Spanish. And he just kept going and going and going. And I had to mute it because, my God, man, I couldn't do it.
Still, because, like, I wanted to watch the game. I was like, oh, cool. And I tried watching it. I was like, haha, joke's on you. I was like, well, that's sad and unfortunate.
And well, the real unfortunate thing is that I know I said I was going to stop the stream, but I just want more story here. There was an amazing game between the Timberwolves and the Grizzlies, where the Timberwolves dropped a huge ass lead right at the end of the game. During that time, Hulu, my provider, was absolutely 100% down for the count. So I didn't get to see any of this epic comeback. I kept getting updates on my ESPN app going, oh my God, look what's going on. Holy shit. But couldn't watch it because it was TNT. And
Nice.
Hulu was down for like 2 hours. So, yay. Oh.
Yeah, it's just.
What comedian has the airplane monologue? I don't know why she just didn't type it here, but that would be George Carlin. But I will text her as well.
What? I'm very confused.
My sister, who was watching the stream, I guess she stopped, just asked me via text, what comedian has the airplane monologue? And it's George Carlin. It's called The Safety Lecture. I love The Safety Lecture. Google it. Sure. It's amazing. It's phenomenal. It'll make you giggle and maybe even wet yourself.
There you go.
But anyways, I'm going to stop the stream. I'm going to talk to Zelius offline.